So how are you, Bex?
I'm okay. Yeah, I mean it's what is it? Tomorrow is the new year of the snake, the new year of the horse, and it's like snakes are. I'm always very open about anything to do with like astrology. I love astrology. I love it all. Don't understand it, but the shedding of the snake right towards the end of the year
Yes,
has been like profound for me. So it's yeah,
it's
it's
that shedding of their old skin.
yeah.
People are leaving it behind.
Yeah, and people and certain people you've got to change and let go, adapt. And
Yeah, yeah.
I had to lose a very good friend early this year, and I've just had to reconfigure. That was maybe not the word, just realign a very special friendship over the last 2 days, right on top of the 17th. So it's yeah, it's just
Wow, wow, wow. Well, I guess it's time to get on that horse and just charge off into the next year.
exactly, yeah, exactly. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well, really well. Though I must say, the sun comes out and then it's pours with rain.
Doesn't
Uh,
it? I know,
and it seems like we're almost stuck in this sort of swirling rain that just doesn't want to go.
I know.
A few
Apparently,
minutes ago, it was absolutely chucking it down outside. And
yeah,
now I look out the window expecting more rain. It's blue sky, not a cloud in the sky.
yep. I woke up this morning to blue sky. Went out like quite not spring like, but I think what it's almost a spring morning. And what happens? Like now, 2 hours later, it's freezing cold, pouring down with rain, and snowing. And you're thinking like, what is
Like,
going? Like
well, you see, you're further in the east, you're Essex way, it snows in
yeah,
Essex, doesn't it?
yeah, yeah. And it was literally lovely this morning. And about an hour or so ago, it was literally, I mean, not heavy snow, but you're thinking like, what is cosmic joking? I keep getting the thing, the cosmos loves a joke, and I go, yeah, don't they just?
Well,
Or
I
doesn't?
have this really weird theory that we have got this front sort of stuck around us that's swirling around and around and around, and it just keeps going in a circle. So you get that moment of sunshine, rain, even heavier rain, and keeps going around. And what we need, and this is my way of looking at it, is one great big storm to push that one to
Yeah,
Europe so we
totally
can
agree.
then get back to sort of a more, well,
Natural.
natural flow.
That makes so much sense.
But I've already been proved wrong by somebody else on social media that my thoughts are wrong. But anyway, that's it.
Oh, don't start me on social media. Do not start me on social media with what I do, the mediumship I do. Oh, the bullshit that is out there is just, and then I shouldn't have said that's quite insulting, but yeah, some of it.
Well, oh, look, there are the haters, aren't there? And there always will
Oh,
be, I guess. You know,
yeah, always.
uh,
I think for me, you and I are the same. As soon as we put our head above the parapet and we start speaking our truth, there'll be someone that wants to shoot it off.
mm,
And
mm.
me, so I've jumped up everything on. Okay, shoot me, and yeah, they will. Yeah, it's just people's hate is. I think where we are is we're people have been given permission to hate. People have been given permission to be a keyboard warrior. People have been given permission to be not nice.
And the thing is, would that same person stand up in front of you and say those same
Yeah,
hateful things?
no,
No.
because one, they wouldn't, and two, I'm 6'4". I'm built like a brick shit house. And I'm a martial art. Well, I've got a martial art background. No, they really wouldn't. They really wouldn't. But behind the keyboard, they can say what they like, can't they?
Yeah, it is a sad state, isn't it, when people feel that they need to say things, but don't actually have the inner strength or the courage to say it out loud in person.
And all they're doing is deflecting their own wounding, their own pain, and they're just doing it as like, here's my projection. I'm so angry and hate, so angry at myself, so hate myself. So who can I put it onto? That's all it is. It's like when I with my work with grief. People's grief comes out. I mean, I get people get drunk at my nights. I get people get a bit angry, and it's not me. It's grief is very personal, and I just and I have to just try and be kind. I am kind, and just feel that everyone's with grief. Everyone takes it so different. Everyone's process is different.
It
You
is
know.
true, isn't it? It is very true. And you'll never fit the book or the structure because everybody's different.
Yeah, that's it. And that what's that saying about don't judge anyone until you've walked a mile in their shoes. And everyone even the people the price is
Let's stop,
smart.
stop you right there. A mile in my own shoes is hard enough. I don't walk in anybody else's shoes.
Exactly. And you look at the people who look, I've met some amazing, because I've done a lot of sacred plant medicine. I met some amazing medicine people, some amazing spiritual, and they're just as fucked up as the rest of us. They might be a bit further down the journey of learning, but they're just as fucked up. They really are, you know.
Well,
This
the,
whole
the
thing.
human experience shows you both, so there's no ways
Yes,
to escape it. You've always got to be confronted by the opposite, the light and the
exactly.
dark.
Yeah, for sure. Without the shadow, how can you know the light?
Yeah. Yeah. So here's a question for you. How did you get into the mediumship side of you?
What happened with me, and I love that question. From the youngest age, I wanted to, if you like, chat to dead people or felt the closeness to wanting to, but I got nothing, absolutely nothing. And in my teenage years, there was someone called Doris Stokes, and she was a well-known. I'd watch her, and that's all I wanted to do, but got nothing. I think, in essence, I was so wrapped up in the trans. Obviously, when I grew up, there was no support. There was no talking to your parents. You didn't even know they existed. Even being gay was still frowned upon.
Mm.
So, as a little boy, I just wanted to be a mermaid, which was great at 7. Bit shit at 28 though, but never mind. I'd sat in circle a little bit, got nothing really. I'd watched. There was a very famous guy called Colin Fry, and then there was T.J. Higgs and Tony Stockwell. They were the ones on telly a lot. And the weirdest thing is, I got to know Colin really well. Only about 9 months before he died, but I got to know him for 9 months. I ended up working with him just the once, but it was amazing. I got to know TJ really quite well, but it wasn't. And it's so in a nutshell, it wasn't until I went through my own emotional and physical transitions did the mediumship start to appear with the right tutors, the right mentors, and but even that goes deeper because I believe mediumship is easy. It's a natural phenomenon. We're all mediums.
Mm,
But
mm,
it's the
mm.
journey of the medium. So not only was it my physical and emotional journey, it's also been my conscious, maybe my body journey, the soul journey of me as well. Because I've done a lot of the ayahuasca. I've done a lot of. I've explored plant medicine as well as therapy. So as I've gone deeper into myself and worked deeper into myself, the mediumship opens up more because the more you clear yourself out of the way, the better. I don't. I
Yeah, that,
just
I
don't.
completely understand it because you have to go inside and clear the inner you of
Yeah,
all the muck and the dirt and the
yeah,
programming and the insides of the world is pushed onto you, forced
yeah,
on you.
yeah.
Once you clear that, then things start to come online, don't they?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. And I mean, this last 18 months, I've done a lot of work, a lot of work about releasing some pain from my mum and stuff. And so that's cleared it as well. And I'm literally going through something really painful at the moment, but I've had to face it. But that will make me a better medium.
Mm.
Because once it's released and the emotional shit's out of the way, and I think it'll probably take me 4 or 5 months, but once I've worked through that, and the pain that's associated with it, and it goes okay. That then clears you to become an even stronger blend with spirit.
So,
So that's my story, but it's ongoing. I don't think anyone, when these people say, "Oh, I've studied for 30 years," I'm like, no, we're just scratching the surface.
yeah. So what you talk about going in and doing work on yourself and clearing those blockages and stuff and that energy. What are you doing? How are you doing that?
I mean, well, it's been. I've obviously done been in like classic therapy, but I've worked a lot with grandmother ayahuasca. And what she does, is she's a tough mother at times, but she's beautiful as well. But it makes you just bring. I mean, at one point I went right the way back to a child, to a baby, to having to be reborn. They call it the death. It can be known as the death vine because it makes you go. The more you work with her, the more layers get pulled out. And one of the profound ones I remember was I was in deep in the medicine. And I was never suicidal. I often thought, oh, why am I here? What's it about? Am I bothered? Well, at one point I got so, and I was never good at trusting anyone. But that's part of my growing up pattern, and obviously being different. And one part of it, I was so weak, so vulnerable. And one of the helpers who has become my friend, she was kneeling next to me, one of the supporters. And I just simply said, I don't want to die. And she went, you won't, but you've got to go through this. Because I had to be that vulnerable. I had to be that I was in such a place. it was almost like the medicine, maybe the grandmother made me go so vulnerable that I had no choice but to trust.
Mm.
So you find that place. Oh, actually, I am capable of trusting. Although I had an issue about, my issue of trust goes right back to my mum.
I guess the trust is then you sort of bury the trust and become self-fulfilling. I can do it myself. I don't need anybody's help. I don't want you to
And
help me.
absolutely, and I'm still in that process,
Mm.
which is fine. So for me, I'm in a place where I now acknowledge it. I acknowledge the source, the creation of it, which was my mum. Didn't intend to do it, bless her, but she did. And then it goes through life, and it gets compounded because obviously being trans, you hide yourself, especially when you hide yourself. You're scared of being found out, the fear of ridicule, the fear of rejection. It compounds it. So then I don't want anyone, don't need anyone.
Mm.
And
Mm.
part of what I'm going through now is the same thing. Going, oh, actually, I trusted someone. Yeah, okay, but it is what it is.
And to just to accept that there's a vulnerability there, that's a
Yeah,
big step, isn't it?
huge, huge. And what I do now with my work, that's my greatest gift because I can go in front of an audience and go, I've got no hiding place. I'm this the whole thing. I'm not trying to. I'm trans. I've gone through all this stuff. Someone asks me a question, I'll answer it honestly. So that makes my work more powerful because it is so transparent. There is no block. It's just me being me. And if people come to my night and they go, don't like trans people, then don't fucking come. If I'm up there trying to, I'm up there. For me, what I've realized over the last year, and this is again through some amazing therapy, I've worked with a couple of people, is that my trans journey hasn't been about being, oh, I'm a woman. It's been about aligning my divine masculine, my divine feminine. And when you find that divine alignment, it frees you. And it certainly has made my work that much, I hate the word better, but it has made it
Mm.
more flowing because there's no resistance.
So you obviously born a man,
Yep.
have this divine aspect of female that you want to bring in,
Yep.
brought in physically,
Yep.
right? To merge the two, I'm guessing,
Yep.
to become that divine whole,
That's my journey. Yeah.
right?
I mean,
Now,
when
of
I
course,
was
that sounds very simple. Oh, we'll just bring the two together and then make it all one big whole, but it's clearly not.
No, because I mean, growing up, as a little boy, I thought I was in the wrong body, and that's classic transsexuality. And even up to maybe a little while ago, you think, okay, yep, I'm this. I want to be a woman. Although for me, I upset everybody because I don't say to people, I'm a woman. I'm not. I was born with a man. I had a penis for 40 years. So I'm a lie. I was always a lying. I always thought, oh yes, I want to be that femme side. And I went through the longest time thinking, I want to release the old me, release the male side, release John, let it go. But no, it's not. I'm in a place where I honor that male history, that from the little boy to the grown man that was the bodybuilder that learned about nutrition, learned about keeping a strong body. That I have a strong body thanks to John.
Mm, mm.
John learned about the martial. All John's experiences are valid. So
And those
I honor
aspects
them.
of you can't be taken away because you've lived them.
Exactly. But a lot of trans, and I respect it. And I was it for the longest time. Oh, I've got to forget that, let that mouse side go. Let that. No, I have to honor it because
Mm.
it's part of me, part of my. When I work, when I'm in front of people, it is John and Bex, John and Rebecca. It's not trying to be. I'm not trying to be two people. I'm one. I've worked really hard at aligning the two, so the two in harmony. So it means I can be that divine. So if I'm working with spirit, and I've got a male, I've got a spirit remembering his male past. I can work with that. If I've got a woman remembering her female past, I can work with that. Why? Because I understand both.
Yes, yes, yes. And that's
I've
very
been
true
both.
because when I'm working with trauma and things like that, you can't deny that a trauma has taken place. You can't deny a life experience. No matter how hard you try to push
Yeah,
it out of you, it's part of who you are. You've lived it.
yeah, for
So
sure.
you've got to accept it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like explore. So,
But that's also that leads to the next thing because brilliant. So if there's a male part and a female part, you can connect to both of those energies and bring them through in their, I guess their highest version that can come through you as
exactly
you
that.
being the medium.
Yeah. If I've got an aggressive bloke, I know what aggressive men are like. I did martial arts the longest time. I know what aggressive men are like. If I've got a scared little girl or scared woman, I know that feeling too. So it
Mm.
makes me, I hate that word better. Say more empathic. It makes me, no, change that word. It makes me more open, more
Yes.
transparent.
Well, I think more understanding as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that. I don't know that.
Because if someone comes through me, and it's the divine female, I'm very much living like a man. I can't bring those nuances through that you would be able to bring through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And I guess you've seen the types of people that are attracted to your readings and stuff grow and change over the years
yeah,
as well.
yeah. I think what it is, my work is phenomenally different to what it was even a year ago, certainly 18 months ago, because I've been doing this I've been doing this quite a while, quite a long while now. But the healing element of the work, where spirit, because I always say my work is, if I'm when I work with spirit, my role is to create what I call the evidential profile. So we know who it is. It's last night. It was your dad. His name was Rob. Heart attack. Whatever it can only be for one person.
Mm.
So we've got that's done. It's them, and that's a small part of the reunion. Then it's my job to get out of the way. What do they want? What is it about? And everything is multi-layered, everything is multifaceted. And I'm not. I try and avoid generic stuff. But on Friday, I had this man come reunite with me, and he was. I don't see them, but he was showing me clairsentiently
Mhm.
what they call suited and booted, suit and polished shoes. I hate that because every man of a generation, that's them.
That
But
particular
what?
generation,
Oh,
definitely.
absolutely. But what? Why? So my question is, why are you showing me that? What's this about? Well, he was more worried about his appearance and what people thought of him than the relationship with his own son. So within that moment, so yes, it was accurate. My dad never went out with that suit. He was always this polish shoes were so important. He always, but it wasn't really about that. What was he showing me? The dad was showing me that his relationship with his son wasn't as important as what everyone thought about him.
Mm, mm,
And then then from that can expand about how the relationship between father and son broke down completely. So what did the father want to do? Well, what's that view? It's not about the father going, "Oh, I love you, son. I'm sorry." That's about, look how far you've come, son. Different to me.
yes, yes. Because also that generation, there was no ability to do that.
Exactly.
If you'd gone and been all gushy and huggy and caring, you probably would have been, lost your job and been put away and some
Yeah,
having a mental disorder.
yeah.
Uh,
I mean, for me, I do get them when the people come through and they've been beautiful parents, but you do get, especially like the grandparents' generation. There, there is that. But what happened? What I find not a lot, but happened to me the other night was they're presenting the way they want. So this woman presented as a nan, a grandmother. Yep, found the granddaughter. Oh, the sun shined out of her backside. The relationship these two had was beyond. It happened something, it was beyond nan and grand. It was a special friendship. But who's sitting next to her? Her mum, this nan's daughter.
yeah.
Well, then she said, I want to now present as mum. I want to come to my daughter. But what it was, this daughter had been the daughter didn't have a close relationship with her mum. Like, the nan and granddaughter were like this. The mother, same woman, and daughter, there was a distance. And what this and that mum wanted to address was the jealousy the mum felt towards her own daughter, towards her
Mm,
but saying and it was saying, I didn't know how to love you. Your daughter showed me how to love.
mm,
So in a way, the mum, when she had her daughter, the gift was that that her daughter could show the grandmother how to love in a way that she could never love her. It's family, it's ancestral line stuff.
I mean, the ancestral is so much in it as well. And you think about it, what some of those, I guess, grandparents were doing, 80 to 100 years ago is very different to what way we lead our lives now. And for them to
Absolutely.
look in from spirit and go, why are you on this Zoom call? Why aren't you sitting over a cup of tea next in front of each other? They can't get that
No, of
because their life was different.
course it was. Yeah.
Forget about writing letters and emails and things like that. Well, we've got instantaneous communication. How many times we emailed in the last sort of 10, 15 minutes just to arrange this call where
Yep.
send it, get a stamp, send it to the
That's
post
it.
box, wait for the postman to take it, yeah, and wait a week for a reply if you're lucky.
If you're lucky. Well, I mean, I've got a friend. I have got a friend. I have got a friend in
Well, I hope
Guatemala.
you've got a friend, at least one.
No, I've got a friend. It's shifted the friendship, but I've got this lovely friend in Guatemala. Well, that this friendship could not have existed 50, 30 years, 20 years ago, because we can just pick up the phone. We can FaceTime,
Yeah.
literally video FaceTime for an hour at a time, or I can send her a message in the morning, or she can say, well, and it's instant. So what is it? I mean, if it was a pen pal friend, a letter would take 2 weeks to get there. So it has changed, and the relationships have changed. And the big change is in couple relationships. I've worked recently a few times when I've had a couples reunite, and they were married for 50 years.
Hmm.
Right. Well, those days back in the 60s and 70s, if you go further back, it was different. You met them, you didn't, as you said, you didn't socialize beyond your small circle. So the person you married might be in the same village, might be in the same town.
Yes,
You
exactly.
stay and you stay together. Now, for whatever reason, we meet people all over the place and we don't socialize physically. So it's all online. You meet someone, and also, of course, we live a lot longer now as well. So the social pressure on us to stay, as for couples, is so much harder.
That is true. I never actually thought about that social pressure. But
Yeah,
then I also see relationships as more contracts, and there's always an end clause to a contract.
yeah,
And
for
I
sure.
think that those people that are traditionally trained that the contract's till death do us part,
Yeah,
well, that's not necessarily true from my viewpoint.
I agree.
And I think it's a danger to say this is going to be till death.
Yeah, I agree because especially with my work and the healing work I've done for myself and the healing work I do is that when people grow and they heal of their own trauma, you're the expert in this. When people heal from their own trauma, their own wounding, if they're growing and their partner stays where they are, the gap becomes even greater. And I had it with a friend of mine a little while ago, and love her to pieces. I haven't seen her for a while now. Is that what I had to learn is that you can't heal anyone. You can't even help them. You can hold space. I can hold space, but I thought I can help you heal. I love you. No, no. So, and because she has to do her work. And
Yeah.
also this other friend now is that I've got to do work. It's not to do with this friend I've got and got. So I've got to do the work.
And in that holding that space, I guess you really just open the door for them to actually take that step. And if they
Yeah,
choose not to take that step, they're not going to.
they're not
I
going to.
see people come to me for one small thing and change exponentially.
I can
Others
imagine.
who I expect are going to really take this chance and grow,
Yeah,
take like half a step and then a quarter step back. And
yeah.
but it's okay. It's for them. The healer never heals. The healer just holds that space.
And that's what I had to learn because I thought I can help you. I love you. No, you can't.
Well,
No, you can't. No, you can't.
you
I'll hold
provide the tools,
space.
though. You do provide tools and expertise
Yes.
and life experience,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
Which and I'm always this is not fair, but dubious of the person who's been, and let's just use Reiki. Reiki is a fantastic thing, but done a 15-minute course online and been attuned to Reiki online and
Oh,
done no self work.
done.
Yes, they might have all the tools that they need,
Yeah.
but they don't actually know how to use those tools and they can't actually hold that space for their clients.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. But in two areas for me, both in sacred medicines. Like I've seen people. I've had people say, "Oh, I'm going to go to an ayahuasca weekend for an ayahuasca party." What? It's a sacred medicine, even like whether it's mushrooms or whether it's marijuana or whether it's deep stuff like buffo. It's sacred, and you've got to treat it sacredly. And the same with my mediumship. It's sacred. When I do a demo or a show, I have so much fun. When I get in front of people, it's the reason why I'm alive. That is my happy place.
Mm, mm.
But it is sacred work. I take it so seriously because it is. For me with my work, if I'm working with a spirit, I know someone's dad, I don't whatever whoever that spirit is, everything they are, everything, their essence, their soul, everything, their love is in the palm of my hand. And that's my responsibility. As long as I do my best, they're fine. But that for me is it. And the same with like the medicines. It's sacred. I've sat with grandmother a lot,
Mhm.
probably about 50 times,
Oh,
which is a
wow.
lot,
Okay, that
which
is
is
a lot.
quite a
Yes.
while. But I would no more think I'm ready to serve it or hold space with it. I'd be okay if I was supporting someone who was a medicine person. They said, "Oh, can you help hold space?" Sure, but would I want to serve it? Not in a million years. Well, so I'm not. It's not. But you see, like you're saying, people just like with mediumship. They do an online course, or they go. Oh, I've seen it. I've seen it. There's a place called the Arthur Finney College, which I love. It's not far from Bishop Stortford. It's like it's the home of psychic studies. It's like Hogwarts. I love that. I cannot speak highly enough of that place. For anyone watching, if you want to explore your mediumship, message me. I'll tell you where it is.
Well, I think I'll
Phenomenal.
do that myself.
Oh, I don't teach there because I don't follow the SN. The SNU, which is the Spiritual National Union, is the religious arm of it's religion, and I don't quite fit the genre. But I love the tunes. I love the plot. I can't speak highly enough of it. But I've seen people from America go over there for 2 weeks. Going, I'm doing 2 week course. I'm doing well. They're doing 2 week, 1 week courses. I'm a medium now. You haven't. No, you're really not. You're really not. And I've met them. I've come over and I'm going to go back and become a medium. I thought, you're really not. You're really not. But that's your belief system. Off you go.
Well, yeah, I guess technically they have got that stamp and they need that label,
Oh,
but
they've done
having a
1 week.
label does not mean you are it.
No, they've done a week or a 2 week course, and that's yeah, okay. Off you go. Yeah, okay. But the problem then is it gets mediumship a bad name because what happens is with mediumship is people go, oh, it's all rubbish, it's all bollocks, it's all crap, it's all rubbish. What they're really saying is the representative, the medium,
Yes.
is going, I've got a lady, might be your mum, might be your nan, might be your auntie, and she wasn't
Yeah.
very well before she
Probably your
passed.
sister.
Yeah, and then she couldn't actually, oh, she had trouble breathing at the end, but she, you know, well, what really? And that's not their fault. It's just they haven't. For me, it's a relationship with spirit. I'm blessed. I'm demming 4 or 5 nights a week. I'm doing a show or a church or a spirit center, a house party, a church, a charity night, 4 to 5 nights a week. So my relationship with spirit is different to someone that's doing it once a month, once every 6 weeks. Has
Yeah,
to be.
you're not. Yeah, and that's what brings the energy because it really is all about energy. It's about building that energetic battery, that
It's
knowingness, that
yeah,
skills. You have to keep working at it. It's not a drop in and drop out of, oh, okay, let's tonight let's host a party and I'll bring out the Ouija board and see what happens. That's asking for trouble.
exactly, exactly that. And it is that relationship. I mean, for me, a lot of me, every meal's different, but for me, when I work, it's about that preparation of building up that power. I call it love. The frequency of love. However you want to define it, it's that frequency of love, and then it
Absolutely.
becomes
And love is
stronger. And then,
powerful, by the way. It's very powerful.
yeah,
They can knock you off your socks if you're not careful.
absolutely. 'Cause it builds, and then from that becomes the power of the soul that fills the room up, and that is the space that spirit can use. Because I call it the space of the soul memories, and that's got to be in place before I even think about linking with spirit.
Yes, yes.
As well as getting myself out of the way, get my own emotions out of the way. Because my preparation is about quieting this conscious mind down and getting all my own fucked up emotions out of the way as well. So it's clear. And
So how do
then
you
you
do that? Just curiosity here.
sure.
Because this is about being human. This is about us, and this
Yeah,
whole podcast is about being human. And behind the front, what's happening?
yeah. Well, I mean, my preparation, I my is I start in the afternoon with what I call a little power nap. It's just I go to sleep going, spirit, come
Perfect.
close. Yeah, and then as I'm getting ready, I have my certain piece of music I play, not to get in the zone, but my brain's already recognizing this. My brain's already, oh, I know those songs, or work's coming. Without even saying, my brain just knows.
Ah, yes,
Then
yes.
I drive to work, drive to the show. Depending how far it is, I might play a bit of normal music, but I start to play my own music. Then when I get there, I do a gratitude prayer, and I thank the Great Spirit. One time ago, I thank Pachamama, I thank the Earth, I thank the sacred medicines, and I then start calling the team if you like, we'll have a
Absolutely,
little team.
yes, yes.
And then I go on to my preparation, and that is piece of music, and it's guided, and it starts with quieting the conscious mind down, letting that go quiet, let that go quiet, then quieting all the emotions, then quieting the body. And once that's quiet, I call it a bridge. You can cross a bridge if you like, a bridge of silence. Everything's gone silent. Then it's that space of love. You let that love build. You sit in it, you feel it, so you become love. It
I
sounds
can
a cliche.
actually, I can, as you're talking about it, you're taking yourself through it,
Yeah,
and
I have.
I'm actually
Yeah.
watching you go
I,
through it
I,
as you
become,
talk of it,
I
and you're in
become
that
love.
space now, aren't you? You've
Yeah,
crossed the
yeah,
bridge.
exactly. I become love.
Yeah,
And I become absolute love. And then from there, the solar plexus, the soul builds, and then it expands from the soul. Then it reaches out to everybody in the audience. I set the container.
mm-hmm.
And I say to it, right, here's your space. This is your space of your memories of the soul that I'm creating for you to use that I'm going to be part of. And then from there we cross that bridge. I call it the bridge of love. And then it's light. Then I kick light in, and my soul kicks in, my spirit kicks in. And then there's my vibe, my divine color, and it builds and builds, and that builds. That links with hello, there you are. Oh, let me come to you. And then I say, okay, come back with me. And then so they come back over the bridge of light. We've got the bridge of love, and then suddenly everything's set.
Yes, yes.
I usually do that in the car. So as I
And
get
that's that
in,
routine that the body needs, the mind needs
yes,
to just get out of the human,
yes,
the 3D
yep,
into that higher plane version that needs to be
that's it.
active.
Yeah. And when I start work, I always do a little introduction chat and I say, here's my happy place. And I'm experienced enough to be able to jump in. It's all set, but I can jump out of it and do a little interaction with the audience, feel myself back into it, off we go. Because that comes with experience.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I know I'm in it because I know I'm in it when I have no thoughts of my. I'm going like I'm going. Oh, that colour's gone quiet, and I know it when my emotions are out of the way, when my own personal emotions have gone. I'm not feeling, and I'm in that place going, okay, I'm in that place. I'm okay. I'm in the place of the soul because I say to everybody, when we cross over is what I'm experiencing because what I'm saying is we're these eternal beings.
Mm.
It's one lifetime's a lovely gift, but it's the briefest moment. And when I'm sitting in staying in the power, all my emotional shit I'm going through doesn't exist. It's gone. So I'm detached from it because it's only when at the end of the night I get back and go, oh, okay, kick back in again. So I know I'm in that
So that's
space.
when Bex comes back in. Whoop, oh, she's back again.
Yeah, I'm back. I go, really? Is that what you want to talk about now? Yeah, exactly that. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that definitely would have been many progress, many what's the word I'm looking for? Many uh
Oh, it's evolved. It's taken
evolve
ages to
the whole
evolve.
thing's evolved over time. So you've streamlined it, you brought different bits in, you've figured things out, you've
Yeah,
seen what works and what doesn't work. You've mastered that part of you to be able to connect to that beautiful silence, that beautiful peace, that beautiful bridge, that place of pure love, of that an incredibly powerful love that
yeah.
even
It
I'm
is. Yeah,
feeling across
yeah,
the Zoom call, you
yeah.
know?
And it's still evolving. There'll be something will change, something will change, and I go try. It'll be I try that, and suddenly, well, something that happened recently was that the power of the soul was like, well, let's do it this way. And suddenly, like, where'd that come from? And it took it to a new level.
Mhm.
But you can only be ready for it when you're ready for it.
Yes, yes.
And this is where it's different. And this is I really don't knock any membership, but sometimes you see members who haven't had this experience about setting the space, setting the container, and they just go up there, and you'll see them, and they're doing it with the highest intention. I had it done to me once. I had this done to me once by a beautiful, like, I was at a church. She was lovely. And this is a long time ago, but even that felt, well, she hasn't, it didn't feel like the angel was flying. She pointed to me and said, I want to come to you. She called me a young lady, which made my day, actually. That's by the way.
Brilliant. I
Oh,
love it.
made my day. I would have said yes to anything. But she went, I've got your nan. Lovely. And then she said this to me. Your nan was very old when she passed. Yep, it was me nan. Of course, she was old.
Yeah.
Your nan always wore her glasses. Well, she was 84. Always wore glasses. Oh, your nan had grey hair. If you're over
Raise that.
40, you're either dying it or you're very lucky. And she said, oh, your nan always wore her cardigan. Yes, she was my nan. She said, oh, I know you've got lovely memories of you and your nan in the garden. Yes, but almost all of us got that. So I got, yes, thank you. And I'll never forget. And again, I'm not blaming her. I'm not, because she was doing it with the right intention. She pointed at me. She said, "Oh, and I know." I thought well, something specific. So I thought something specific's coming. She went, "And I know your poor nan had trouble breathing right at the end." So I've gone, "No shit, Sherlock. She died. I was with her." So what's it? She then said, "Is that enough evidence for a message?" I felt her saying it's a crock of shit because it was, it could be anyone. It's had she gone to me, and Spirit taught me a perfect lesson once because I said to Spirit, "Don't you ever give me button-up cardigans. Don't you ever give me button." So what happened? I'm working with this nan, and I don't anyway. It just flows. I said, "Oh yeah, yes," and it's the button-up cardigan. As I'm thinking, what the fuck are you doing to me? It's the button-up cardigan. It's the blue one in your drawer by your bed. She went,
Ah,
yes. Now it becomes useful because within all that generic stuff, there will be something leading to something else
yes, yes, yes.
because spirit are the ultimate intelligence. So, for example, so if they go, oh, you have nice memories of you and the nan in the garden. Well, what were they? They'd be there.
Because
You know,
I remember something very similar when I was working with a client and they'd lost their grandma. They were very, very close. And I kept getting this image of a red rose. And I'm like, a red rose?
I
You want me
know,
to tell him there's a red rose? I'm like, "Oh, okay, red rose." And he went, absolutely. Yeah,
There you go.
I was always giving my nan red roses because she loved them, and she was always giving them back to me.
There you go.
Yeah. So
And that's the lesson that I had to learn. So, often happens as the very last sentence of the
mm,
reunion. I've had to. It's only this last year I've learned. Don't question, just say it, because sometimes you can come out with something you think, "What the really?" And they go, "Oh my God!" You know, it's not mine to know because I've tried it. Is that sometimes you come out with a sentence you think, "Oh my God, that's so generic." It changes someone's life.
yes, and I remember at the time when obviously we want to deal with trauma when I not said those things.
Yeah, I was the same.
And I know I should have said them, but I was too scared as a human being to say that in front of somebody who may be older than me or I respected or
Yeah,
someone I thought wouldn't understand. And when I started to embrace those difficult sayings,
yeah,
conversations, the release and the growth that came out of them,
yeah.
which wasn't for me, it was for the individual, especially when it came to sort of sexual trauma. That was a
Oh,
big one. I mean, how do you broach that with someone? Well, the fact is, you've got to say it. It's
yeah,
coming through. You've got to say it.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's like I I I had about trauma. Is I had one recently, and it was a stepdad. I said, "She's not your dad. She's your stepdad, but not like your stepdad, but like your stepdad." And I said a few other. I can't remember what I said, but no one put their hand up. But I went to this woman in the front. And I went, "I'm with you." She went, "Yeah, don't call him my stepdad. It was awful." Now at that point, I will often feel like the hatred or the anger. And how I believe it works, where I am at the moment, is he wasn't really like to say, "Oh, I love you, darling. I'm really sorry." It wasn't that. I believe if something or someone created that energy of hatred and fear, that whatever my anger and hatred, it's got to be released to the source of it. And he was the source, so it's got to go to. Well, it's not him, but it's got to go to the source. But this went deeper, and I said, "This is deeper than that. This is a fear." And then he showed me what he did to her, and I said, "This is you still carry this fear of him and men." Yes, I do. And in that moment, we did some healing, and it was beautiful for. But again, you say you've. I have to be careful not in an audience setting, and I just say, look, do you want to carry on? Should we stop? And I'm blessed that we when I say when we I mean we are it's a we. When I'm working, it's a we. Whether it's 10 people, 200 people, it's a we. We're a container. We're all in this together. And also, and it's when we create that safe space and the people someone and that's what blows me away. It's when people go, Bex, I come to you because I feel safe. And I love the laughter. I love the they come to because of how it makes them feel.
You know what? And it's so important that you are able to create the space and to hold the space
Yeah.
for people to actually be themselves, to be actually okay being themselves.
Yeah.
Because how often in the world we go out pretty much anywhere where we're not comfortable being ourselves.
Exactly.
And the fact that you can hold that space for people is amazing, is really amazing.
And it comes back to love. I know it says a cliche, but it's just like you just said. This says, "I'm love. I have the love of the universe." And I haven't got to feel it for myself because we're all, in our own way. We're all our own little fucked up little cookies. But when you find that, when you get out of the way and you become love, it manifests and it magnifies, and that has the power. That's where the power is for transformation.
It's almost like it fills you up and then it flows out. And I
Exactly.
always say that you've got to start with yourself. You've got to start loving yourself. Even if you are the most screwed up, fucked up
Yeah.
person you can possibly imagine, you're here living life. You're doing your best. Even if you're doing your worst, you're still doing your best, and it's
You set the
okay.
intention. I am love. That's what I do. I am love.
And so you
I'm pure
start,
love.
you become love,
That's it.
and then it just flows out of you.
Yeah.
And then it
Um,
doesn't take any effort to hold that space.
Exactly. Exactly. And if I have to give someone a hug or something after they go back, I don't understand your hugs. I said, it's just love. This is love.
People don't understand your hugs.
Well, they go. They say like if I give someone a big hug, they go, "Oh, I don't know how you do. I don't know what you do to me." But it's like it's love because there's
Oh,
no
okay. Yes. Right. I'm with you now. Yes. Sorry.
because I have no I have no boundary. This is my vulnerable. Here's me. I'm going to give you a hug from the spirit. Have a hug, and people just they will and it's yes you could say it's me, but they often fall into my arms and they'll cry. And then they just cry and release. I could just they go, I'm sorry. No, release. It's fine. Here's just I'm holding space for you. You're safe.
But you just think about how much stigma there is, and well, there definitely used to be a lot more with actually hugging.
Mm.
And I remember going to one of my first workshops where it was all about tachyon crystals and tachyon energy and the invisible parts of light and these different glass products that made which put these beautiful frequencies of love. And we were all saying goodbye to this person, and they were all giving this gentleman a hug. He's an older man, and I was in my what 20, 23, 24, and I saw everybody hugging this man. It was a stranger to me, and I gave him a hug, and he said, "You're not ready for hugs just yet."
I love that.
He
Love.
says, because I was so uncomfortable about, but because everybody else was doing, it, I felt that I had to. And he stopped me and said, he gave me a big old bear hug, but he
Yeah.
says, "You're not ready for hugs yet, but one day soon you will be."
Oh, I love that.
And now I love hugs and I
Yeah.
love giving them. And in
I
fact,
do.
I have a daily hug with my wife and my daughter, and they
Oh,
absolutely love it. If they don't get their daily hug, they'll bitch and moan, of course, but they
yeah.
still secretly love it. So,
Well, I do something called a hug from heaven.
oh, I like that.
In fact, I've got a book. I'm not promoting, but I've got a book coming out, Hugs from Heaven, about people's experiences. And so what happened was, or what started it, I was just doing a dem and I can't remember the relationship now, but I just got this urge that they want to give you a hug. Can I give you a hug? I thought, this is all a bit weird. They said, yes, please. I gave them a hug. It felt really weird. I thought, okay, it feels, that's them giving a hug. They went, I felt them. I went, yeah, okay, whatever. Biggest skeptic head. And the woman in the audience said, it's a hug from heaven. And the name stuck. It wasn't the third time it happened. I had a guy, I think it was in his early 40s, his wife's in mid 30s. He'd been gone 8 weeks and we're chatting away. And I said, it was a beautiful reunion. For someone who's only gone so recently, it was really beautiful and powerful. And I said, he wants to give you a hug. Is that okay? I said, oh, yes, please. I thought, oh, I wasn't skeptical, but I think, well, okay. Anyway, so I've started to hug her and my hands have started to go down towards her bum.
Right.
And I pulled him, I go, oh shit, I am so sorry. And she went, what? She said, I was going to squeeze both your bum cheeks. I am so sorry. Then she went, now I know it's him. And I said, why? She said, he could never give me a hug without, he called it his double grab. So in that moment, I thought, whoa. And since then, it's again, they haven't so much transformed, but they've certainly become stronger. And what I believe it is, it's obviously, it's a bit like film goes. They don't cut, they don't enter me, as it were. But when we talk about the energetic fields,
Yes.
they come
Tapping
so
into it.
they come so close. They energetically overshadow me, is how I believe it works. And as I'm hugging, that overshadows them, and then that becomes a physical expression for the recipient. And then what happened about a year ago, it then became even more. I said, oh, and I remember saying, open your heart. Just imagine you open your heart, pretend you, and with that, as I'm hugging, the love flew through straight to their heart. And and I've got this little book coming out called Hugs from Heaven. There's about 12, 14 stories in there of how they felt this. For me, it's obviously an energetic, it's a
Mhm.
vibrational frequency in exchange, but it transforms or transmutes into a physical experience.
I guess it's also going to flow down the quickest and the easiest way for them. So if they were a hugger and that was their thing and that was the two cheek hug,
Yeah.
it's going to flow that way because that's the easiest way they can get that message across.
And the healing, don't you find that healing happens best in silence?
Mhm.
So often I'll be working sometimes. And I'll say, I'll stop. If I'm working, I'll say, just stop, feel your love, feel your mum's love. We've already done it to them. And they're like, and everyone just goes quiet, just feel your mum. And when we do the hug sometimes, that reinforces it, becomes, it's a silent hug. But in that moment, they know it's them. There's that reunion that becomes a physical experience.
That's that connection. That's making
Got it.
it physical, aren't you? You're
Got
really
it.
making something that's clearly abstract and this is what you're saying. And yes, I can connect to
Yeah,
it, but now you're anchoring it in the physical. And that's
exactly.
just going to exponentially increase that healing.
That's it exactly. Yeah,
Amazing.
that's it
Wow.
exactly.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
We
It's,
forget how powerful each and every single human being actually is.
we do. We do.
We have
We
this
forget.
infinite capability for love, for connection,
Yes.
for magic.
That's exactly it. When I work, I always say these nights are magical. I don't, the word magic, people go, oh, it's magic, but even though it's magic, it's magical. It's a play on words, but the nights can be magical. And I did a night last night, and it's normally quite a lot of people. I walked in, a third of what we normally have. that I know straight away it's going to be intense. I never worry about the money side of it, but I know it's going to be very intense healing. And boy, was it. Some of the healing for people, because spirit go, okay, it's not because it's more concentrated, but it means I haven't got to worry about what 100 people think. I'm working with 30 people.
Yes,
And
yes.
so it's like when I do family friends group nights at someone's house, there might be might be 10, 12 people. It's so intense because they've all come together. They don't. I've created that container, but they're all adding to it. So you've got it. Literally, it becomes thicker in love, if you like. It becomes more intense, and it makes the healing.
And I guess you're also you can able to give everybody a bit of attention. So there's not like somebody in the back going, well, there probably always is someone in the back going,
Yeah.
what about me?
And what I've learned with my work, especially my work, is it's very different to any form of. I always say I want to be entertaining, but I'm not cheap entertainment. It's always a show, but it's never show business. But unlike anyone who gets in front of people, if you know, I always say if you're a comedian, you've practiced your set loads of times, your jokes, and you know what you're going to do. You might be some ad libbing. If you're a musician, you've practiced your sound set for months and months and months. I used to see a guy called Christopher Burke who I thought loved his music, loved his lyrics, but even their ad lib line, if he's on a tour, I'd probably go to 4 or 5 concerts because I just loved his music, loved his lyrics, and I got to know the band a little bit of a stalker. But everything was rehearsed. With my work, and this is the thing with my work, you get up, I do my little chat, my little introduction, bring everyone in together, and that's it. I've got no rehearsal. There's no backup plan.
So here's a question for you. Would you prefer it if it was staged and rehearsed
No,
ad nauseum?
no,
Or
'cause
are
you
you
never
prefer
know.
living on that edge
Oh, I
where
like the edge. I like the
there we
edge.
go, there we
I
go. You
like the
see,
edge.
there we
You
go.
never know. I mean, it's like the other night, last night. No, it was a couple nights ago. I started the second half, and I was chatting to people and saying, "I'm talking. I've got fuck all. I'm
Where's
chatting to you."
everybody gone?
But why was that? Why? Because I believe I can't remember what story. I was really talking about something that must have resonated with someone because it's like, well, you've got just talk for a bit. They didn't tell that to me, but yeah. And the other thing, of course, when it comes to my sort of or any meetings work compared to most people present like comedy or a show or music, is that if someone goes to a Robbie Williams concert, they're going because they like his music. They might go to keep going, yeah, but they're not going to buy £100 ticket. They don't like Robbie Williams, or they're not going to a
Then you
play.
pay a lot more than £100 for that ticket.
Sure. Or they're not going to go to a play if they don't like the play, or they won't go see Christopher Berg if they don't like his music. But with my work, people will come along to slag it off. People will come along to go on, it's all rubbish. They sit with their wife, go, I told you it's all rubbish. Because there was a guy called Colin Fry, who I knew a little bit before. I knew him quite well for only about 9 months. Lovely man. And I was blessed to work with him once in like 500 people in a theatre. So, a big audience. And I was chatting to him, and he I can't remember his exact words, but what he was saying was, if you're working with any size audience in mediumship, you're going to get maybe 25, 30% who come because they love you, they love your work, they've come for a night. You get another 30, 40% that have come open-minded, hoping they get a reading, but have come to experience it. You'll get some like 20% that go, God, it's all right, I'm in. But you've got a core of maybe 15, 20, 15% of people who think it's rubbish, who think it's shit, who've come to see you fall in your face, you don't get it anywhere else. But that's the nature of the beast. I've had to learn with it. I
And
mean,
that's just, it's crazy how people think like that because I could think of nothing worse than going off just to go and
that's the
slag
nature.
somebody off.
Because what happens is people have got such a ingrained belief system. So if you've got someone who believes when you die, the complete atheist. I mean, they said, "Going to change my mind." I said, well, hold on, you want me to initiate in you a complete lifestyle paradigm shift of your belief system in 2 hours? I'm not interested. If you go home with questions, great. I'm not here to change. I'm not evangelical. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm not interested in change. I'm here to do. I want you to be part of it. You enjoy it. I remember once years ago now, I had a guy come up to me the other night. It was a charity night. I do a lot of and charity nights are my biggest joy, or one of the biggest joys, because you're raising money. Because if I do a charity night, I never take any money. All the money, apart from me driving and petrol, goes in the pot. So if I do one for a school with a PTA can raise, they're popular nights, but you get every single type of humanity. Like,
Yeah.
it's all rubbish, but I've come to support the school. It's all rubbish, but I've come to support my friend who's got brains. Great. But I had a guy come up to me at the end of the night, and I remember it vividly. He said, "I want to talk to you." I thought, "Oh, you can feel his head, sit down."
Good thing you're 6 foot.
Yeah, you're not wrong. If people ask me, "Do I get in trouble being trans?" I go, "I'm 6'4". No, I don't. I'm very amiable, but I mean, even I'm still, I've lost. Obviously, I'm quite slim. I'm quite slim, but I'm still quite big. It doesn't. Anyway, so this guy came up at the end of the night. He went, "Want to talk to you?" I went, "Okay." And I said, "Yeah." Come on. He said, "Just so you know, I came tonight to expose you. I thought this was all rubbish, and I was determined to." I said, "Okay." He said, "No." He said, "But you came to me with my father, and you said things only me and him know." Now, I don't know if he's going to go home and change his mind, but what it's done is opened his mind. And then
Mm.
once the mind's open, spirit can get in and do their job.
Yes, yes, exactly. That's right. It's that small little thing that you do
Yeah,
that helps them on their journey, that maybe guides them in the right direction, maybe changes them slightly.
that's
Like
it.
1 degree off where they were heading could be, in 10 years'
Yeah,
time would be a different continent, you know?
exactly. Exactly. And that's been a journey for me because it's that, my own wounding of wanting to please everybody. And what do? You see the skeptic and I used to wholly say, I want to help him. No, 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 I don't anymore. Go like, that's what you want to be. Put a love and light around you, but I'm not going to try and change your mind. Because again, another lesson I got about you can't reach everybody. Because no matter what you do, you can always say, "Oh, Becs guest or Becs did this." I worked with a guy at another charity night, and there's a guy sitting in the front row with his wife like this, wearing a Spurs shirt, a Tottenham Hotspur shirt,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like this. First time, you can feel him. I'm thinking in my head, I'm thinking like, why don't you? I don't mince my words. I'm thinking, why don't you just fuck off? You paid your money, go home. Just don't, because he wasn't being horrible, but his energy, you could feel it. I'm thinking like, what are you here for? Anyway, I started the second half and I looked at him and went, who's Stan and Steve? He went, it's my dad and granddad. Okay. The first thing is you're wearing the shirt, wrong shirt. That's with West Ham. Yeah, the West Ham fans. That was so. There was a reunion between dad and granddad. It was lovely. I can't remember yet there was any tears, but it was, what I've learned as well with like things like those. Spirit will be if you need something specific, they'll cut through the shit and get right to you.
And funny enough, he probably wasn't planning on wearing that top, but at the last minute decided he put that
Well,
top on.
absolutely. But as he's leaving, he slaps his didn't hide, he slaps his wife's arm and went, I bet you phoned Bex and told her all of that. Well, she could have done. I didn't want me, I was more happy that he got the pronoun right. You know, but to be fair, you know.
It does remind me of a joke, um, which I'm going to tell anyway because it's about being human. I like jokes, and it's about a little Spurs supporter, and they're doing a tour of Italy, and the dad decides that he wants to get his son blessed by the Pope, and on a Wednesday afternoon, every afternoon, Wednesday afternoon, the Pope will come out, and all the kids will be standing with their parents behind them, and the Pope will come down and bless the kids as he goes down, does his rounds. And there he's got his little Johnny's dressed up in his beautiful Spurs strip, right? Everything, the socks, the shoes, the hat, the whole lot. And the dad is standing proudly behind his son. And he looks down, he sees a couple of West Ham supporters down there. And he sees the Pope going along and blessing this little two West Ham kids. And as he comes to little Johnny, he walks straight past and goes on to the next kid. Anyway, the dad is absolutely livid. So anyway, he phones home. He gets this new West Ham strips sent out. Another week in Rome, but it's okay. Next Wednesday, the sun is shining. It's really hot. Little Johnny's now dressed in his West Ham supporters strip. And along comes the Pope. And eventually, little Johnny's getting really excited now. He's going to be blessed by the Pope. And the Pope goes to him, I thought I told you to get the fuck out of here last week.
That's really good. That's actually really good. I
uh,
like that.
yeah.
With this, but you can have the most profound effect on some when you don't even know. I've done nights when I thought that was like pulling teeth or that was a challenge. I get 2 or 3 messages of people going, "It's changed my life." I haven't, but my work has. I suppose I have if I own it.
Oh, you're
But
you're
yeah,
the medium. You're the medium.
yeah,
You have done it. You've done the work. You've done that bit.
and
And, and often the time when you think you've been your worst performance is
yeah.
when you make the biggest changes.
Absolutely. That's so true. And I mean, it's like for me, where I'm at with my work is for me, I'm now in a place of total dedication to this because it is my life. I'm blessed. I get up in the morning, I do a bit of paperwork, whatever I've got to do. I go to a yoga class. I might go to the gym. I do it, and I then start getting, when I get back, I have something to eat, and then I start getting ready for the work. But not everyone can do that. I'm not saying everyone's going
So
to do
where
that.
do
That's
people get hold of you? How do people get hold of you?
Well, I've got a website. I've got WhatsApp. I've got Instagram. I've got Facebook. So yeah, and it's like I'm really lucky, really. I suppose where I'm based, I'm known a little bit, and it's expanding a bit more. But yeah, they can find me on. I'll give you the link, and you can put them. But I'm the world's worst at self promotion. I'm rubbish.
You
I
sound
mean,
exactly like me because
I'm. I
that's
mean,
why we have our
we've
social
got
media guru.
we've that's how we met through our guru, and she's
Yeah.
changed everything. She's just beyond, and what she's doing for me is amazing. And
So,
I've
what
got
does the worldwide stage look like to you? Where to next?
well, what happened with me, and this is for years. I from various sources, I was told I was going to work in Los Angeles, Hollywood, and I'm going, yeah, yeah, whatever, because I love my job, I live for it, but I'm just at the time it's just there's a million mediums out there, but and so I thought, okay, when something is significantly unique about my mediumship, maybe something else might open. Anyway, what happened was, again with the plant medicine. I was shown actually a shaman I was working with was shown and said channeling saying you do know there's only about 7 or 8 mediums in the world that can work the way you're going to work with the healing because the work I've done on myself.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
been big. It's just because of who I am individually and what I've done on myself, both therapy and the sacred medicines, the sacred toe medicines. I went, oh, okay, yeah, if it's meant to happen, it will happen. How am I going to get invited to LA? Anyway, last May, I was teaching on a residential course, actually with my mentor. And there was a gentleman there, a bit older than, well, not older than me. And I did some work with him, and his heart center opened up, and he was in, not a bit. He said, "I've never experienced this before." And he said, "Would you ever like to come to LA and work?" And I went, "Well, okay," because he's got a friend who runs a charity. And I said, "You know what? I've always wanted to go to LA." So I thought, I have a holiday of a lifetime. And so I paid myself to go to LA. I was staying in Hollywood. So I did a fundraiser, met some people, and now I'm back. I'm going back in June. But I was told by Spirit the first time you go, see if you like it, see how you fit in. Don't try and meet anyone. Just let people come to you. Well, I got introduced to someone, and I thought not the first time I'm there, but it was introduced, to someone, and it turned out not to be right. The second time I was told you're going to go there, you're going to meet people and start, but nothing's going to happen. The third time is the when you're going to meet someone, and that was just so we'll see. It's like one guy out there through someone else has said they'd like to take me on and to take me in Los Angeles, take me across America. Everyone talks good talk. So
Oh yeah.
I'm blessed that I'm working 4 or 5 nights a week. I've got a great little life. I drive a 20. I drive well. I drive a 22-year-old car. It's my Rover. I pay my bills. I've got the gym. So I'm so blessed. And if something else opens up, yeah. But I'm in a place where I've had to come back to that place of on that emotional roller coaster ride of going, well, because part of my trauma was like, don't want anyone, don't need anyone. And I went through a phase going, oh, actually, there's someone in my life. Yeah, I'm going, actually, no, I don't. I want to go out. So through circumstances and through, it was going to be anyway, I'm back in that single place going, well, I was never in a partnership anyway, but I'm back in that single place of going, that's what I need.
Mhm.
But it's all a journey, isn't it? We're all on a journey.
And I think it was, you know what, even though the human has lots of ideas of where the journey is going, you really don't. You don't. I mean,
No.
could you have seen as the little boy who dreamed about being a mermaid, could you have seen yourself where you are now today?
If someone said to me 25 years ago, I've had 20 hours of facial surgery. If someone said to me 25 years ago, I was an 18 stone bodybuilding martial artist who had not suppressed, but had accepted I'll never transition, I'll never be female. And if someone said to me 25 years ago, you're going to do all this treatment, you're going to come out on the other side, you're going to do all the work on yourself, you're going to find the sacred medicine, and you're going to find a place where you get in front of people just owning being trans, and you'll find a place where you're not trying to be feminine or male, you're just trying to be this divine feminine where it doesn't matter they call you she or he, it really doesn't matter.
You're being the divine you. That's all that matters.
Exactly, yeah. So, and then at the end they say, well, you might meet someone who if eventually, I've never looked for a partner, never looked for anyone. But if so one day someone comes along who goes, yeah, I get that as well, I get who you are, great. If I don't, I don't. I've never worried about being single, ever. But it's interesting the journey of being, if someone said to me 25 years ago, it's where I'd have laughed. I'd have laughed in their face. But now I'm blessed. It's like, I get asked, not so much. Occasionally, men will say, "Well, do you miss having your bits?" I go, "I where I'm blessed, I don't remember having a penis. I don't remember having one, and I
Ah,
don't. I don't go down looking at my vagina and go." or my man made it, whatever, whoever wants to call it out there. I don't go, oh my God. I just go, that's it. It's what should be there. Whatever's there, it's better than what was there.
Mm, mm,
So it's a journey, and
mm.
it's,
Yeah. I was going to say something very profound there, which came to me, but I can't remember what it was. So clearly not important.
I'm sure it'll come back. I'm sure it'll come
But
back.
it really has been a real pleasure and an honor to be able to spend this time with you and
It's
to
been great.
hear a little bit about the Becs behind the Becs,
Bex
the
behind the Bex.
medium, the incredible soul that you are, and the fact that the courage and the vulnerability that you've shown to step into this world and to go on this incredible journey of however many years is truly remarkable, and I think an inspiration to everybody. And again, letting go of the idea of the pronoun, just being allowing you to be you, who you
Yeah.
truly want to be.
I mean, I was in LA and I've met this wonderful family. I was with her and I was with this beautiful friend, she's quite a beautiful friend of mine called Andy. I was with her and her little boy. And we're in this beautiful aquarium place with, with dolphins and a massive place now. And we're looking at, I think, some stingrays. And this older guy, a helper, comes up and he's chatting to her. Then he turns to me and calls me he. I ignore it. And and she's become a really good friend, this Andy. She looked at me and said, don't worry about it. It's none of my business what he thinks. If he made a mistake, he made a mistake. If he did it on purpose, he did it on purpose.
It's his
Can't,
journey, not yours. When
can't
people
do it. I
talk
can't do
behind
any
your
can't,
back, you can't
can't,
control that.
it's not. It's none of my business. And I think it's credited to Hopkins. Anthony. It's credited to Anthony Hopkins, but I don't know if it is or not. He said it's none of my business what anyone thinks of me. It's not. I can't change it. I can't change as much. We'd all like everyone to think the best of us. We would, but we can't.
Of course, we're human. We need to be part of that tribe, don't we? We need to be part of community.
And if I break it down, the difference, if he called me she or he, what's the difference? The letter S.
Mm, yeah, yeah, one letter. Yeah, yeah.
And ultimately, if you get into us being into our spirituality, we're genderless anyway.
Exactly, exactly. You've
You
just
re-
coming down to experience it as a male, as a female,
yeah,
in your case, to do both.
that's it. And for me, I think some of those spiritual people get still hung up with gender and sex.
It's
You
an
know,
expression, surely. It's just an expression of,
I totally agree. It's an expression.
and whatever expression is right for you today might be
Might
wrong
change tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly.
25 years ago was the wrong expression for you, right? But 25 years later, wow, what a transformation.
Yeah, and we're all fluid. I mean, I don't mean gender fluid or sexual, but we're all fluid, and that's it. I think it's for me. So in my view, it's about being open to the fluidity of change, the potential of change.
I think it's also, if you look at some of the people who've done lots of past life regressions, sometimes they'll be male, sometimes they'll be female.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we've probably done probably about 50% of each.
I would have thought so.
Yeah.
I,
Well,
I, I,
I wouldn't expect any of us to do more of one,
no, I agree. I
because it's
agree.
just about learning about self and about our beautiful souls.
And I always say to people, I have little not I have little peeves about people about mediumship. And I have certain peeves about spiritual people, and they get some of those spiritual people are so wrapped up in extra dimensional beings and doing this and doing that. So hold on a second, why are you here? You're here to experience. I call it humanness.
Yes.
You're here to experience humans. You're here to experience the touching of bodies. You're here to experience looking at someone you love. You're here to experience the smell of the sun, or smell of a new morning.
The smell of the sun. Yeah, okay, I guess you could do that. Yeah, but
Yeah,
isn't it
you're here
about
to
living
experience.
in the physical and being
Yeah, this is
grounded and present and having a hug and sharing love
yeah,
and sharing laughter, sharing the pain and joy and
yeah,
it all?
exactly. Yeah, and I know, I think it's Doreen Virtue, an old lady was watching, says, this is the densest vibration. Yeah, it might be, but it's still a frigging gift. I mean, I struggle some days.
Who
I
doesn't?
struggle. I struggle. To think like the emotional, really, the physical, but the physical body is still. A shaman once said to me, "Every breath is a gift." You can't live like that. You can't. But I try and go. Thank you for that breath. Or to my body. If I'm sitting with something called happy, or sit with the grandmother, I'll go, thank you, body, because this body is such a gift. We abuse it.
Oh,
We treat it in a way we wouldn't treat our own cars.
the wrong fuel, the wrong type of
Yeah,
everything goes into
yeah.
this thing, right?
Because I always say to people, when I work, people say, "How do I believe it works?" I say, "Your soul is the drive. Your car is your body for this life experience.
Absolutely, yes. It's your vehicle. You've got to look
Some
after it.
some day the drives are great. Some day the drives are some years the driver shit. That's part of the experience.
And some days the drive's an automatic pilot. You don't even realize you're doing it.
So I like that totally. I like that. Like I love that. Yeah, and but ultimately it's a drive and it's a gift, and it's like for me when I hold some or I was close to someone and you hold them, or I remember once our hands just enveloped and while she was asleep. Oh, put a frigging price on that. Because that's an expression of soul love and the physical body that when we cross over, yes, I know if that's etheric beings, we might, Arcturians, Palladium, whatever dimensional beings we are as well. This is the gift of physicality, and it's frigging priceless. But we lose it. We lose the sight of it. I'm as guilty. It's in this moment I go, yeah, it's where the love is.
Of course, because you create the space. We're in this love bubble, and it is all
Yeah,
about that ultimately. But we're not going to stay in it.
no,
We're going to go outside. We're going to forget the brolly. We're going to trip in the puddle. We're going to bang our knees. We're going to meet someone who's in a bad mood.
exactly that.
There's going to be traffic. There's going to be something that the government says or does.
Exactly that. Yeah,
And we're
exactly
going to
that.
respond.
Yeah, totally.
In an ideal world, we'd all be that little Zen bit and we just go nod our heads and go, oh, thank you,
Yeah.
move on. But we're
Yeah.
human.
We're human, and that humanity brings a passion, both good and bad.
Oh, yes, we've got to have passion. Without passion,
No.
I always say, just think how boring life would be if we were all the same.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
We've got these different personalities, different ways of doing things, different experiences, which butt heads sometimes, but actually, even the butting of heads allows us to grow and move forward.
Yeah. And then it comes back to you're going to butt heads, communicate and talk about it.
Absolutely, yes. It's actually easier to communicate it than
Yeah.
butt the heads.
Yeah. Yeah.
Less painful.
Because I mean, so many times going on my work, I get a reunion and there was no dialogue, there was nothing said, there was no expression, and the person's left behind thinking, "Did I do enough?" That was like, well, it's a cliche, but I always say, tell the person you love, tell them you love them, even if you are so angry at them, even if they've pissed you off, just tell them you love them because that might be the last time you speak to them.
I
Or
like that. I really like that.
don't bear a grudge. Just
Yeah.
say you're upset. Say you're angry. Get it out of the way because what you don't want to do is cross over with that. They won't have the grudge, but if you've still got the grudge, they've got their role is to try and reunite and
Is
let
to also to reflect that until you agree to it, till you get
absolutely,
over it, till you clear
absolutely,
it.
absolutely. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, no. It's powerful stuff. And at the same time, it's so simple,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah, for sure. We make it complicated. But
We're
absolutely
very
simple.
good at making life so complicated,
Yeah.
but actually, it's very simple.
And it's
Couple of
one
simple
word.
process.
Just one word, love.
Mhm.
Because I always come back to the word universe. Once, universe, one song, love. And I
Mm.
don't, and I always say, but I don't mean love as, oh my God, I love you so much. That's part of it. But love as that frequency, love as that energy. When you sit in it and you go, yeah, I come in that place of love. And it isn't, you haven't be excited about it all the time. You haven't got to be full of ecstasy or joy. Oh, I'm sitting in that place of joy and ecstasy. No, 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 no. That might be part of it, but you're sitting with love as an intention, as a free going, I am in that place of love.
Firstly, I think most people don't understand the word joy either.
No.
You just mentioned that, so that's one where we'd rather go for happiness for a lot of people, and it's just a complete misunderstanding of that word actually is that word of pure joy, because that pure joy is in the simplest thing and in the most complex thing at the same time.
Of course it is.
It's not just a moment. But love definitely highlights that. So, as this is a podcast, what is one parting thought or word that you'd give to the audience?
Oh, one parting gift.
It can
Uh,
be a word, it could be just the word love.
do you know what? What I really want to share with people is I'm going to say this. If whoever's listening, I dare you to pick the phone up or pick a messenger up and just message someone, I love you. And you can say, I love you unconditionally. I tend to, I've got a friendship. I go, I love you unconditionally without any expectations, without any attachments. You can say that or just say, I love you. Because I love you, kind of attachment. But not a dare. Yes, a dare. Just pick up, maybe someone you haven't said, like, I love you to for a while. Just pick the phone up or send a message or email and just go, I love you unconditionally. without any expectations. Yeah, I've added a bit to it.
Brilliant. Brilliant stuff.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you. It's been
Thank
such a
you.
joy. It's been such fun as well.
Well, of course, it should
Of
be.
course, of
Well,
course.
I mean, come on, we're not here to be miserable, are we?
No, exactly, Oliver, exactly. It's been the best time. It's been great. It's been nice because I live in my own little bubble. So this is nice company for me. It's been fantastic this afternoon. So thank you so much for having me on your podcast.
Well, you know what? You're the first guest.
I
I didn't
know.
know. You know, it's
She
all.
set the date, didn't she? She went, right, you're doing it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
know. I didn't get a choice. I mean, she said to me, right. I said February's too soon because it's too busy. Let's look at March. She said, okay, March. Right, I'll start preparing the socials for March. I'm like, wait a minute. You
Yeah, I
can't
know.
just.
It's like she's amazing, isn't she? She's
Uh,
absolutely amazing. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So
Well,
you got a gig this evening?
no, I've got tonight off actually. I've got some work to do. I've got email. I've got email a couple of people in LA.
Oh,
I've
oh,
got to,
excuse me. All right, yes,
I
yes.
know LA,
Yeah, yeah,
darling,
yeah.
LA, darling.
Make sure
I've
you
got
get
to
the
check.
time right because
Oh yeah, they're 8 hours behind. That threw me. That jet lag that threw me a little bit. But I'm just sorting my flights out as well. So it's like yeah, it's and then tomorrow night of all I think it's on Thursday. I'm in the East End of London. So, yeah, Spirit don't care where you work.
no,
You know,
no, no.
one night literally I was in LA. 2 nights, 3 nights later I'm in Basildon in Essex, and
That's a
I love
Basel
it.
from Basildon to LA. It's just a quick, yeah.
Basildon, but Spirit don't care. I mean, it's like what I've learned from Spirit. There's no such thing as fame on the other side. There's certainly
No.
not money. There's certainly not. They don't care. It's love. We come at that word. It's love, and it
And
can.
and and if you're in that place of love, all your needs will be met,
There
right?
you there you go.
You know,
Absolutely.
they will be. They just are.
That's it. They just are.
You might go, there's nothing in the account, and then suddenly it's there, and you go like, well, where'd that come from?
Yeah. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
I notice when I work is like when I work from that, you set that place of love, you can feel people say to me, they're like, they felt different in the room or they don't want to leave the room. Well, yeah, that's it. Because I always say, I set the container up. Yeah, I own it's me, but it's their energy, it's their frequency, their love that holds it as well. You've got 100 people, 200 people, whatever it is, you're holding space. If you've got half of them not present, you've lost it.
Oh yeah. See, oh yeah. Absolutely.
You've got to
Absolutely.
make them want to be part of it so that I hold the structure.
But
I've got my
if
guys.
you can't hold that structure, all you're going to bring through is your grandmother wore a cardigan. Yeah.
That's exactly it. You
You
got it.
know,
Million, million percent. Million percent.
and there's very few, no, there's some very, I mean, there are some very, very good mediums out there.
There are.
I
There
remember
are.
being told to go and see this lady, and the first thing she said to me, "You need a new pair of trainers." I went, "What?" She said, "Spirit's telling me that you've got holes in your shoes, and you shouldn't be wearing them. The next time you go up that mountain, you're going to slip and fall." And I, that was bang on because I had huge holes in my favorite pair of shoes, pretty much walking on my socks.
Love
And
that.
that's when, I didn't necessarily agree with everything she said at the time, but they'd made the connection.
That's that light bulb moment, isn't it? It's that, oh, okay. There's something here. Absolutely. I know that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Magical, magical. Uh, I'm super excited to see where the world takes you.
Thank you. I shall keep in touch. But I'm
And
hoping my hope is or what things are making space for LA to open up or America to open up. Nothing will change me living here because I still work here, but I've got space in my. It was purely by chance last year. I was very lucky. I spent about 2.5 months traveling. I had 3 weeks away in June. I had 5 weeks off in August. I had five. So I've got. So I can adapt my diary. So if I get a chance to work in America 3 months of the year, I can grab it. May not get any holiday, but I don't care. It'd be
it's
exciting
different.
that,
Changes like a holiday, you know?
isn't it? Oh,
It's all new. It'll all be new in LA. There'll be, different
oh,
time zone for one.
different vibe out there. I mean, I enjoyed it out there. It wasn't all touristy. I met some amazing people. I made some I made some really good friends in the. I was out there for like 3 weeks. I made some lovely friends. I made some very special friendships, which is nice.
Yeah. No, I just love the way the world takes us where we need to go, or where spirit takes us where we need to go,
Yes,
in ways that you never expect.
totally.
Never ever expect.
No, totally, totally, totally. Yeah.
Fantastic. Have
Well,
a beautiful, beautiful afternoon.
Andrew, thank you. It's such a beautiful connection we've made because I
And
love chatting to you. It's effortless. It just flows, doesn't it?
it is, it is. And I was very conscious I didn't want to interrupt you because, but I've got all these thoughts I want to throw at you,
I
but
know.
you know, but
We
it's
can
such
do
a
it.
beautiful conversation, and
We
thank
can
you
do a
so much.
part two in 6 months or something, can't we?
Oh yeah, there'll be a part two. I think there will be
Definitely.
a part two. Yes,
Have a wonderful afternoon.
you too, and
And
we will speak soon. And
definitely. Oliver, take care, my
Bex, all
friend.
the best. Cheers, there.
Take care.
Bye
Bye now.
bye.
Bye.